Alright, so just found another spot behind the crib. This is a tiny little, I don't even know what to call it, like a reservoir lake, storm drain lake. But there's some goose, some Canadian geese for that matter, looking hella peaceful and tranquil, just minding their own biz. And I like this spot. This is kind of like what I had envisioned when I thought about like what I wanted to do with the whole like video thing. It's like environments like these where I can really just reflect by nature and on my ones and just talk about shit that I want to talk about. And in the last video I talked a lot about fear, and I don't think that topic has left me. I think I still want to talk about it because one of the biggest things that I need to overcome is thinking that where I am is not good enough to present to the world. And another thing that I talked about in the last video was, showing up for yourself and being, like, just embracing who you are right now and being okay with it and having fun with it at the same time. Like, I think I, like, pressure myself, like, so much so to the point where it's like I'm not having fun anymore with this music thing or with this writing thing or just like the way I live my life with medium as the art of expression, or sorry, art as the medium of expression, specifically music. But like the more and more I think about it, the more I realize like I'm just kind of like everyone else. And the people that are really good at what they do, and the people, let's say, like, have blown up and shit, are people that, like, just don't give a fuck. Like, it's just that simple. Like, they just, they have, it's not that they're better or people are worse, but they confronted their fear amidst how strong their vision was for themselves. And they didn't let anything tarnish it. They just wrote the script for themselves and they wrote their life movie. And that's what we see today in the artistic landscape and the creative landscape of things. And yeah, like while I'm out in nature and everything and who I'm pondering about like a lot of people. But one person that has definitely shaped my way of interacting with the medium of hip hop and poetry and writing and music production is a guy named Billy Woods. Talk about him a lot with all of my friends. And of course, like any of our, supposed idols are, like they're flawed. They're just human. And, it's never a resolve where you find all the answers you're looking for in one specific artist. But for me, an artist like Billy Woods moves me in like many different places, but in one regard specifically, which is like pain and suffering and what to do with it. Because, like a lot of great artists in the world, like Van Gogh, and there's 100 more names to that. When I mention the ethos of someone like Van Gogh, where his work was just not recognized in his time and only recognized like years and years and years after death, and now in contemporary modern times, I resonate deeply with the artist that is able to push themselves to a place where it's beyond that they're just uncomfortable, but it's a place where it's like they've endured so much suffering and pain, maybe maybe with some aspect to self-inflictedness, but at the same time, just the way that structures are in life, and the way that some lives tend to go, and the pain and suffering that comes with it. And yeah, like the way he writes and the way he expresses himself, and the very fact of like him not wanting to be seen, like he always covers his face in public at shows and everything, draws to me in a ambiguous way. And I critically ask myself so many questions on why I tend to gravitate towards artists like this, even Mach-Hommy and Doom, and certain people that had this thing of like, it's not my face that matters, it's the ideas that I represent that matter, and the lyrics that I write, and the symbolism behind everything that counts, that sends a striking message to its audience, and including myself, that I don't necessarily want to copy, but that I want to embody in a way that's balanced with my ethos and my existing nature within my social ties between my family and my job and my friends and everything, and so on. And yeah, this is just the part of myself that I'm just craving for more knowledge, and I'm craving for more answers to. And it doesn't come easy. You gotta continue to do things like this where you're seeking truth, which may be uncomfortable or maybe really like harsh to realize, and it may hurt for a while, but I'd rather have that than to live in a lie my whole life and to dread something that I don't want to do. Because the ultimate end goal is like financial success, but also just fulfilledness in life on all fronts, and the words true wealth. When that word comes to mind, I think of wealth on all fronts, like family, first and foremost, my own family, as well as my parents, my relationship with my sibling, and my friends who I have around me. I don't want to be rich and unhappy and no friends. And the artistic fulfilledness of just like thinking of all the work that I've done in my life in terms of the creative thing, and just being fulfilled in that I never left anything on the table, and that I sought after all these experiences that I wanted to have. I worked with everyone I wanted to work with. I gained the wisdom that I needed to gain from mentors and peers and people at the right time and place in my life. That's what I want. And in order to get that, I gotta I do some crazy shit. And I think the start is something like this. And from here it grows to a place where I feel more comfortable just being in my own skin and just presenting myself as I am right now, and going out there in the world and knocking on the right doors. Yeah. There's my buddy Critten, we were hanging out yesterday, and he quoted Matthew 7:7 to me, which I'm not gonna get it like verbatim, but it says, ask and you shall receive, like knock on the doors and they will be open for you, as long as you have faith. I'm butchering it, but like it goes something like that, and the message of it is, of course, like just knock on the doors and you shall receive. And the thing about this, like even this video right now, is that I haven't even knocked on the door yet. Like this is the first time I'm like really even approaching the door, is setting my fucking camera up and looking like a dumbass on camera for a little bit. Maybe, I don't know, I'm cringe to some people, I don't care, but to some people it might resonate. And at the end of the day, I gotta like realize, like I can't give a shit about the negativity, and all I could do is trudge forward and move forward and make progress. So yeah, that's why I'm continuing to be out here. I don't really care about like the aesthetic of it all. I just thought this pond was nice It's like probably like the nicest like scenic thing I have around me in my neighborhood. But you know, sometimes Ontario, like the province of Ontario, my city, Toronto, is not as nature-esque as some of the previous destinations that I've been to. Um, but it's cool to even have this amongst, the concrete city. And yeah, it just like makes me reflect on a lot of the times that I've had in the past, more recently so, where I've been like traveling. I got to see like Southeast Asia. I got to see like a little bit of South America. I went to Peru for a little bit with some. All right, so the camera on that last video died out on me, but I wanted to sort of leave some lasting, some ending thoughts for just the whole topic of the video on fear and just on showing up for yourself and this creative journey that I'm taking and that I'm embracing where I'm at right now. And it didn't get the part of the video where I was talking about moving past categorization and operating within a genre in terms of where I am in the hip hop space of things. And I talked about the spectrum of, I guess, the spectrum in which I tend to operate in, which is on one end the pure beats, pure flips, pure just sample based production work like Vinny and like DiBiase and like a lot of the well known producers of that kind of category. And at the same time, on the other side of the spectrum, the Billy Woods, the Mach Homies, the God Fahims, Yoral Droog, and just the poets out there that and the linguists out there that exercise their tongue and their writtens and their verses within spoken word poetry. And yeah, I feel like I want to move past one of those categories, or I guess like just being labeled into one of those categories, and I don't want to be bound by even those two categories, and I want to explore more experimental blending between both of those categories, as well as more so abstract instrumentation and kind of like almost like jazz soloing, where I could mix in a blend of instruments and sounds from real life, and not have to be bound by a 4/4 measure the whole time, and existing structures like verse 1, verse 2, and bridge, hook, and all that such, but respecting the principles at the same time. And that's kind of just where my head was at, at that last part. It cut off when I started to talk about my travel experiences in Southeast Asia and in Peru, and how I want to go forward with a lot of the content that I filmed during those travels and put them to use. And again, to which I arrived to the point of having to make a decision based on confronting my fear of being able to be vulnerable about sharing these things and not feel like it's the end of the world if if things aren't executed to perfection, and just getting past the perfectionist mentality of everything. And I know for a fact, myself and all of my friends in this music thing deal with this, and so that's why I wanted to talk about it and talk about my unique experience with this. And yeah, so I hope to have a lot more of these sort of sessions with myself and construct my ideas more concretely and articulate them more concretely, and try to just provide my best self moving forward. So that was that's pretty much all I had in mind. Peace.